So I welcome you this evening for this masterclass. I want you to relax. You will learn a lot of things. Pick your pen, your paper, your notebook. Get your heart ready. As we go on, indicate your likes, share your opinions, and let us know you are with us so that we'll be motivated to continue to do what we are doing. Thank you so much. This is more of a mentorship class. This is more of sharing with you what we have had over the time. I've started with what I've titled The Wisdom Keys to Unlock the Greatness in You. So far, I've done about 15 keys. And tonight, I'm continuing with the 16th key till the time will end. And I want you to be able to prepare yourself to receive it. You have to understand that whenever we talk of keys, keys stands for the instruments that grant access. Key stands for the instrument, because when you have your key in your hands, you open a door. You can stand behind a door. If you don't have the key, you will stay there. But when you have the key, it becomes effortless, unless there's a problem with the key knob. But as far as the key knob is in place, when you slot in the right key, the right door opens. So keys gives you access or grants you access. And keys makes things to become effortless. And keys also stands for knowledge. Stands for knowledge. It stands for wisdom. Once you have the knowledge and you have the wisdom about how to do things, it becomes easier. You and I will understand or appreciate that sometimes you struggle to do things until you get understanding of it. Once you get understanding, maybe the hours you spent fighting over the thing, just a second, you get the things through. So it's important that in our walk with God, wherever we are going in life, God expects us to be able to imbibe this wisdom. Bible says that, and Jesus grew in stature, with favor with God and favor with men, and he grew in wisdom. It talks of John the Baptist as well. When you check the life of Joseph, the life of David, the life of Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, the life of Esther, Ruth, all of them that God used, they were endowed with wisdom, with keys. And those keys were able to help them navigate through things and be able to achieve whatever they have to achieve. It is good to have strength in terms of muscles, in terms of size, in terms of weight. But it is also important to have wisdom. Once you have the wisdom, you can overcome, irrespective of your size, irrespective of your weight. And in the same way, wisdom will be able, this key can be able to keep you or to maintain your achievements of life. Many people have risen to greater heights, but because they missed these truths of wisdom and keys, they wasted their time and their opportunity and their energy. So it's critical for us to know that in all our getting, there is the need to get wisdom and understanding of how things are done. Key number 16, as I told you, or wisdom key number 16 is become a master problem solver. Become a master problem solver. We are all created for a purpose or for a reason on this earth. Bible says that for this purpose, for this reason, the Son of Man was manifested, that he may destroy the works of the devil. In the book of Luke chapter 4, after Jesus had been tempted in the wilderness by the devil on the 3 counts levels of temptation, the level of the temptation of the pride of life, the eye of the flesh, and then the eye of the pride of life, the eye of the flesh. While he was tempted with material things and everything, Bible says he came out, and after he has overcome, after he has been tempted for 40, after he has overcome, he entered into the temple, took the scroll and opened it and read it. And he tells the people that the Spirit of God is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel, the good tidings to the poor, to heal the brokenhearted, to deliver the oppressed, and to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. And when he finished, he closed the book. What did he say? He was re-echoing his assignment and his purpose on earth, what God has assigned to him and called him to do. And that is what he came to do. So he read from the book of Isaiah, which has recorded every one of us. We are here on earth because there is an assignment for our life. There is a purpose for our life. The very day you miss your purpose and assignment of life is the very day you find life boring. You find life challenging and you easily give up. Our motivation and our fuel of living is embedded upon our assignment. We rise up every day and we rush out to do what we are doing because we are fueled and energized by our assignment. We are fueled and energized by our purpose. Without our purpose, we are not energized, whenever you get weak, whenever you get weary, whenever you feel of giving up, it means that you have lost your purpose. Your purpose simply is your bearing. Your purpose simply is the vision or the thing you are pursuing in life. Once you have something pursuing, you are always motivated to get up in the morning and be inspired to run after that thing. The day you don't get inspired, it means that you have lost purpose. You have lost direction. You have lost vision. And as long as we live on earth, we are on earth to fulfill a purpose. You are on earth to fulfill a purpose. And that purpose is to solve a problem. So every one of us is created here for a reason. The Bible is our manual for daily living. It's filled with examples of people who embraced their assignment. Moses was assigned to solve problems for the Israelites. Moses was assigned to solve problems for the Israelites. The earlier you identify your assignment and purpose in life, the better it becomes for you. The better you enjoy life and the better you are fulfilled in life. We are not fulfilled in life by the things we receive, but we are fulfilled in life by the things we find ourselves to do. In other words, where we stand to pour into people. Whenever we are able to do things and to bring life to those people, joy to people, happiness to people, and once we fulfill that assignment, we get inspired. Money, material things are good, but they don't inspire or motivate you if you are not fulfilling an assignment. Aaron solved problems for Moses. When God was sending Moses out, and Moses was complaining or giving excuses, God told him, he said, look, I've provided your brother Aaron. He shall be like a prophet unto you. And Aaron was able to aid Moses as the senior brother of Moses to help him to be able to go to Egypt to succeed him. Jonathan was assigned to David. The assignment of Jonathan is to be in the house of Saul at the time he was as a son, to be able to preserve and to protect the anointing upon David, and to guide David to navigate through the stormy waters around the throne of Saul, so that he can be able to fulfill the destiny of God. Ruth was assigned to Naomi. In Ruth's life, Naomi lost everything, but Ruth became the inspiration for that of Naomi, and Naomi became a guide and was able to help Ruth to succeed. Every one of us, we are connecting bridges to the fulfillment of the life of people and organization or things we find ourselves. So you and I have to understand that everything God created, which in Genesis said it was good, he created everything to solve a problem, and he created everything for a purpose. Don't forget what I said. You get disillusioned when you let go of your purpose. You get disillusioned when you don't know your purpose. You get frustrated when you don't know your purpose. Your purpose is the fuel, is the adrenaline that keeps you going. Your purpose is the fuel and the adrenaline that gives you life and gives you hope to live. The day you lose your purpose, the day you lose your assignment, or the day you find it difficult to get your assignment, that is the day you die. So you might be living, but you might be dead. You are not dead because you've closed your eyes. You are dead because you have not found your passion or your purpose, something that fuels you and motivates you. You are assigned to solve someone's problem. You and I are assigned to solve someone's problem. We are the lifter for someone's falling. And we are the source of restoration to someone's marriage, life, and everything. We are the medium through which the Holy Spirit can heal someone. So don't let us hold back, because we are created for such a time as this to bring pleasure to God through our deeds. To bring pleasure to God through our deeds. Everything we find doing, we have to know that we are doing it because we are solving a problem. Anytime you see a child being born, it means that God has found a need for that child to come and fulfill. The day God stops giving people children to be birthed, it means that his assignment on earth has ended. But as long as God's assignment is there, children will be born. So the children being birthed are an answer to solving of a problem. Humanity is created to solve problems. You have to understand that you and I are set apart exclusively for the purpose for which we are being allowed to be born. We have been set aside exclusively for the purpose for which we are being allowed to be born. Romans chapter 14, verse number 12. Romans 14:12 states, so then each of us shall give account of himself to God. Because God has set us apart for a purpose exclusively to solve problems. Everything each and every one of us finds doing, we will give an account of it. If you're a doctor, whatever you are doing now, you give an account for it. If you're a preacher man, what I am doing now, I'll give an account for it. If you are a pilot, you give an account for it. Whatever field you find yourself, whether working for yourself or working for someone or wherever area or endeavor, note that you are going to give an account for it. So whatever you are doing, you are answering somebody's problem or solving somebody's problem. The question is that, how are you solving it? Studying the difference between you and others will produce a deeper revelation of wisdom, especially regarding your assignment. A problem would always link you to solutions. A problem will always link you to solutions. The lift was created out of a problem of height. Aeroplane was created as a solution to the problem of flight and distance. Am I talking to somebody? You have to understand that everything, a car was manufactured as a solution to the problem of movement or traveling. Everything you see, clothing was manufactured or was brought about as a solution to the problem of nakedness of man and for fashion. So you have to understand everything has a reason. So everything has a purpose. And whilst that purpose is achieved, then whatever you need comes through. So as you fulfill your assignment or as you fulfill our assignment, then reward follows. Reward follows fulfillment of assignment or purpose. That is why I said that the greatest gratification is not the money that comes into your hands, but the greatest gratification is the problem you solve. The more problem you solve, the more gratified you become, and the more money or resource or reward comes into your life. So studying the difference between you and others will produce a deeper revelation of wisdom, especially regarding your assignment. And I said a problem would always link you to solutions. For example, a mechanic can never solve legal problems. A mechanic can never solve legal problems. And he knows that his connection to you is an automobile problem. So somebody can be a legal expert, brainy, but he cannot fix his car. So when he goes to the mechanic shop, he needs to be humble enough for the mechanic to fix his car. The same way the mechanic will go to the lawyer or the legal person for him or her to represent him legally. Though he's an expert mechanic, he cannot solve the problem of legality or law. The lawyer, though expert in law, cannot solve the problem of his car or her car. He or she needs to allow the mechanic to solve it. Jesus saw the needs and the problems of others and met those needs. Problems bring out the uniqueness in us. Problems bring out the uniqueness in us. The more problem, though sometimes when you have the problem, we complain, but problems are designed to bring the uniqueness in us. Problems are not designed to destroy us. It is designed to bring the uniqueness in us, the creative ability of God that is lying slumbering in us. It awakens it. That is why he said that necessity is the mother of invention. From now on, have a different perception about problems. Anytime you are confronted with a problem, it is a doorway for a lifting up, for a blessing. As you provide a solution, it lifts you to another level. So COVID-19, it's not a challenge as you might look at it, but the problem is rather to give us an opportunity to be able to maximize it for a greater impact and for a better reformation of our systems and structures and the way we do our things. So Jesus sees the problems and meets the needs, provides the needs. Problems bring out the uniqueness in us. It provides income because every company is looking for a dedicated and committed problem solver. We are not employed because we are handsome, we are tall, we are beautiful, or eloquent. We are employed because the company that employed us first identified a problem. And the identification of the problem is what created the vacancy, which is the gap. So we go in to fill that gap to solve problems of the company. So we are paid based on our problems. And if you look at our remuneration in terms of our salaries or our wages, it is embedded on the more problem you solve, the more you are paid and the entitlement you receive. That is why people can be in the same company, but they all ain't earning the same salary. It is not discrimination. It is called ability to perform. So your level of skill and your level of solving of your problem determines how you are treated and what comes into your hands. Take note of that. Is what comes into your hands. Every company, every organization is looking for such. And once you get in there, you are in there to solve a problem. So anytime we receive our salary or our wages, we should know that it is the reward of the solutions we are providing. It's the reward of the solution we are providing. It's not a compensation per se of our effort. It is a reward of the solution we are provided or we are providing. Take note of that. So you have to look for, to be dedicated, committed problem solver. Your connection to a dentist is a tooth problem. I've already said it already. God created you and I to solve a problem on earth. And that is our assignment. Never get depressed or worn out by a problem. Don't let problems depress you or worn you out. God has given you the supernatural ability to solve it. If you are humble enough to listen to his instructions. To listen to his instructions. Key number 17. Anticipate and avoid unnecessary conflict. We are looking at keys to unlock the greatness in our life. Anticipate and avoid unnecessary conflict. It's not every battle you have to involve yourself in. Many people enter into battles that they have no clue of. They don't understand what it takes because they saw somebody talking. They also enter into it. And sometimes you end up becoming the victim. And sometimes when you ask them, why are you fighting this people? They don't know. There are people who are fighting people today. When you ask them, what have they done to you? He said, I don't even know what they did to me. But the question is that you hate them. So why do you hate them? Why do you hate them? Why do you fight? Because your brother and sister does not agree with somebody. You also don't agree with the person. But have you chosen to find out why? Have you chosen to find out why? We are people in organizations and places where they enter in there very well, but later you realize they get bitter and begin to fight everybody. When you check the foundation, it's because of what they heard, and they couldn't even collaborate the story, and they begin to fight for someone. So avoid, anticipate, and avoid unnecessary conflict. Unnecessary conflict. Learn quickly how to identify people who are difficult. To avoid unnecessary conflict, learn quickly to identify people who are difficult to please around you and avoid them. There are some people in life, they are very difficult to please. I mean, like, if you should cut off your head and give it to them, they will still not appreciate it. They will still not appreciate it. You have to know that. So you have to be able to learn quickly to identify difficult people to please around you. I'm not talking about leadership or masters or people that are trying to get the best out of you. There's a difference between those who are putting pressure on you because they know you can be able to do greater. So they are trying to say that, no, I'm not accepting this mediocre state you are in. So I am stretching you to be able to get to the level because they want more out of you. That is a different thing. What I am referring here is that there are some people, no matter what you will do in your life, no matter how you push, no matter what it is, they will never pat you at the back. Contentious people create conflicts and distract you from your dreams and goals. Contentious people are people who always are looking for trouble to fight you. Always looking for faults to fight you. Always calling you names. Always insulting you. Always trying to get you angry. Get you angry. They distract you from your dreams and your goals. In fact, they are energy sappers. They sap your energy. You have to be able to anticipate them and avoid them. They take pride in telling you the way things are, but subconsciously are a model of someone in their life who accomplished their goals through intimidation. Every company dress an employee who cannot get along with others. Every company dress an employee who cannot get along with others because it breaks the focus of other employees and fragments them emotionally, which results in delayed projects. You have a project to achieve. And then one is there, he has made himself conscious, fighting everybody on the project, flaring up at the least provocation. Proverbs 22:10 says, cast out the scoffer, and the contention will leave. Yes, strife and reproach will cease. If you want reproach or strife to cease, it is important to know that you have to cast out the scoffer and the contentious person. Once that is done, you will get the project to go. There are people who always want to divide attention. Avoid them. Every company dress an employee who cannot get along with others because it breaks the focus of other employees and fragment them emotionally, will result in delayed projects. Contentious people destroy the momentum. It destroys the momentum and the bonding that agreement can create. Contentious people destroy the momentum and the bonding that agreement can create. Romans 16:17-18. Romans 16:17-18. It says, now I urge you, brethren, Note. The word says note. In other words, take notice. Note those who cause divisions. Note those who cause divisions and offenses, contrary to the doctrine which you learned, and avoid them. 18 says this. He said, for those who are such do not serve our Lord Jesus Christ, but their own belly, and by their smooth words and flattering speech deceive the hearts of the simple. Romans 16:17-18 is telling us that we should take note of those who cause divisions in our company, in our organization, in our churches, in our marriage. You have a friend who is causing division in your marriage and creating offenses in your company, in your business, and yet you are keeping such people around you. They are sapping your energy. They are energy sappers. They will not take you anywhere. All that they know is to always come into your life to gossip about people and to make sure that they are knocking your head against people. Please avoid them. And they have smooth tongues. They are smooth tongues. That's what the 18 is saying. They are smooth tongues. When they speak, they speak with flattering. They speak with flattering and deceptive speeches. So please avoid them. Satan always launches attacks to people and an organization through contentious people. Contentious people becomes vessels that the devil uses, because they are ever ready. They are like ever ready battery. They are available to connect, to bring strife and to bring distraction. Please take note of them. James chapter 3 verse 13. James 3:13 says that, who is wise and understanding among you? Let him show by good conduct that his works are done in the meekness of wisdom. 14. He says, but if you are bitter, envy, and self-seeking in your heart, do not boast and lie against the truth. 15. He says, this wisdom does not descend from above, but earthly, sensual, and demonic. Anyone that creates contention anywhere, irrespective, from company to church to everywhere, he says that that person's attitude is sensual and is demonic. Is demonic. And verse number 16 says this. He said, for where envy and self-seeking exist, confusion and every evil thing are there. Where people are envious of one another, they are seeking for their self. Confusion is inevitable. Confusion is inevitable. And evil things happen in that area. 17. He says that, but the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, willingness to yield, full of mercy and good fruit, without partiality and without hypocrisy. So such people who are contentious, for which we should anticipate and avoid, are hypocrites. They are hypocrites. Their attitude is based on envy, on jealousy. And so they have to create those contentions. They have no basis, but they have to do it because that is what they enjoy. That is what they enjoy. You also have to understand that they sabotage companies, organization, or God's work. That is why most missionaries or most people, most pastors, most churches, most businesses does not succeed, because of contentious people within the organization, within the sphere of work, or in a marriage. Most marriages are on the rock. Most marriages, when you check the underlying factors, is as a result of a contentious person that found himself or herself into the marriage and has destroyed the same beauty these people enjoy for some time. I remember I said such people are very subtle. They are subtle. The organization is moving on well until such a contentious person entered in there and started creating problems. Contentious people are also found in ministries, churches as well. Instead of focusing on knowing the mind of God or focusing on their job, they are busy creating conflict. Busy creating conflict amongst members, amongst people, workers in the organization, and hindering the manifestation of God's word and the progress of the work. Please take note, anticipate them, and avoid them. In families, they create terrible conflict. There could be a family that the family was united, children of one mother, one father, they are all right, until a contentious auntie or uncle or friend or somebody entered in. What people were not looking at, they started pointing at it, and all of a sudden, these same people that love each other begins to fight one another and start fighting over meaningless things. Meaningless things. When you want to find out from them, they will not have a husband and wife. They are verge of divorce. When you want to check what is the problem, you can't understand it. It is all because of contentious people. Company that was doing well, all of a sudden things begin to go bad. When you want to check it, contentious people. They are very dangerous. Very dangerous. They look like angels, but they are terrible. They are very, very terrible. Avoid them because it is contagious. They are very, very contagious. They are able to win people to follow a battle the people are not aware. You follow them and you die. Anywhere they go, they are trying to lobby people to follow their agenda, to be able to cause confusion. Avoid them because it is contagious. When the spirit of conflict and dispute enters your life, take note. When the spirit of conflict and dispute enters your life, it affects everything around you. It affects everything around you. You can succeed everywhere except with a contentious person. Proverbs 25:24. You can succeed everywhere except with a contentious person. Proverbs 25:24 says, it is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than in a house shared with a contentious woman. How to detect them? How do you detect contentious people? Number one, they are in total opposition to the law of agreement. They are in total opposition to the law of agreement. Number two, they discuss situations that do not involve themselves. They are busybodies. Bible call them busybodies. They are everywhere. Have you heard people? Have you seen people? They discuss situations that do not involve them. That do not involve themselves. They enjoy debates. They enjoy debate, especially disputing and opposing whatever has been spoken. They have everything that will be said. They always have something against it. They enjoy debate, especially disputing and opposing whatever has been spoken. 4, we are looking at how to anticipate and avoid unnecessary conflict. And we are trying to detect or to find out who contentious people are. Number 4, they are in opposition to godly counsel. You can't advise such people. They know more than you. Once you start speaking, they know already. They are always the Mr. Right. They are never wrong before. They always know. They always know. They always know. They are pocket lawyers of themselves, arguing for everything and justifying everything. They don't have any work doing. They only enjoy where there is chaos. And such people, their life, if you meet them, their life is not going anywhere. They show ingratitude. Another thing you can use to detect them is number 5. They show ingratitude. And this is a big sign you can see about a contentious person. Every contentious person is an ungrateful person. They are ungrateful. Never, nothing you do to them satisfies. Proverbs says that there are 3 things that does not satisfy. It talks about a grave. It talks about a womb. There are things that does not satisfy. They don't get satisfied about anything. Anything you do, they don't get satisfied. They are ungrateful people. You will take care of them. You will provide for them. You are killing yourself. You are providing everything, but they will not even think you have done anything. Proverbs 30 verse 50 says that the leech has 2 daughters, give and give. The leech has 2 daughters, give and give. They are leeches. They are leeches. They leech. Leeches are, the guys call it shitty. When they stick on you, they suck your blood. They are dangerous than mosquitoes. And the leeches, before you remove a leech, you need a fire. The leeches can only be removed by heat. By heat. Because they stick there and they stay. And such contention, they are leeches. He said the leech has 2 daughters. I like the book of Proverbs. It says give and give. There are 3 things that are never satisfied. 4 never say enough. 16. He said the grave. The grave. You keep burying people. Mass grave. Whatever grave. They will not. That is how contentious people are. They will never be satisfied. The barren womb. The earth that is not satisfied with water. Pour water on the earth. You will still take it. And the fire never says enough. It keeps burning. And those are contentious people. They show ingratitude. Like Satan. Satan was never grateful for all the position he has in heaven. He still was saying that I will raise my throne above the Almighty. Above the Almighty. If you like, give them your seat, they will still want to take your another one. That is the kind of people. They enter into witchcraft easily without invitation. Without invitation. They are bitter people. They are never satisfied with anything. Please anticipate and avoid them. They are energy suckers. And they are home breakers. And they are company destroyers. Avoid them. Avoid them. So how do you respond to them? Having shown you how to detect them. Having shown you how to detect them. How do you now avoid them? Wisdom keys is what we are looking at. How do you avoid them? Because you have greatness. You cannot abort your greatness. And because of your greatness, you have to be wise to be able to anticipate some of these things. How do you respond to them? The way you respond to them is first to rebuke them. Contentious people, you don't massage the things around them. You have to be harsh on them. When you find out that is how they are, confront them. Rebuke them and their character will be revealed. Immediately you rebuke them, you will see the snake in them. You will see the snake in them. Because it's the fire that reveals their character. When there is a fire, they will reveal their character. They will pretend around you like they are an angel. When you find it and you rebuke them, instantly you see the way they will begin to react. Proverbs 9:8. 9:8 said, do not correct a scoffer, lest he hate you. Rebuke a wise man and he will love you. They don't want rebuke. They don't want rebuke. That is one thing you should realize about contentious people. They don't want rebuke. Immediately you rebuke them, you will see their true color. You will see their true color. Number 2, how to respond to them. Whenever you find a contentious conversation, interrupt it and stop it immediately. Whenever you find a contentious conversation, interrupt it and stop it immediately. When they come gossip, you tell them, okay, if you said this and that about this, sit here, call the person, say it before him, and let's get it. You will see the way they will be shaking. Because my mother calls them in Hausa, telephone by wire. They are like, in other words, they are telephones without wire. They go everywhere. When you have not sent them, that is good. They run errands without pay or salary. So whenever you find it, interrupt them immediately and stop them. Confrontation, number 3, we are looking at how to respond to them, to respond to contentious people. Confrontation is necessary to help them understand and check their attitude and work on it if only they will repent. Confrontation, confront them on it. That is if they are willing to change. If they don't willing to change, you have said what you need to say and move on with your life. Number 4, deny them access to you when they refuse to change. Whenever they refuse to change, don't open your doors to them again. Don't bring them into the cycle of your life, because remember, they are energy sappers. They are leeches. They are leeches. Don't bring them into your fold again. Shut the door and let them go. Yes, when they leave, they will be spoiling you saying this, but let them go ahead and be saying it. Nemesis will catch up on them. God will deal with them. You don't need to worry your head. But the key thing is that because such people can draw you into conflict you are not ready for. They will draw you into their battles. They will draw you into problems. They will draw you into challenges. And the greatness God has deposited in your life, they will waste it. Remember, Bible says, redeem the time because the days are evil. A time lost is a time gone. So be careful. Be careful. And guide your life from such conflict or contentious people. Key number 18. Maintain the power of effective negotiation. Key number 18. Maintain the power of effective negotiation. In order to cultivate an effective negotiating habit, take note, there is a need to pursue negotiation wisdom. You have to have wisdom about negotiation. This can be achieved by attending seminars, listening to messages relating to such area, and secure the counsel of qualified mentors before carrying out any serious negotiation in order to avoid mistakes. On this note, I want to recommend a very good book for you to be able to read. Get this book, 101 Ways to Win Every Time in Any Situation, by Peter Stark and James Flaherty. It's a very profound book. I have read it, and I can tell you it's a very profound book. It teaches you about the skill of negotiation. In life, you have to understand that Chris Murray said, everybody sells something to somebody every day. Everybody sells something to somebody every day. Whether it is a product, a service, or just a case of making sure that they get their own way. So every one of us, whether we like it or in one way or the other, we are selling something to somebody. And so we have to master our negotiation skills. Negotiation, why? Because negotiation is important. Negotiation is important. Negotiation is important. So that is why we need to master it. If you don't master it, you will fall short. Negotiation is very, very important in our life. Negotiation is very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. So negotiation is important. Your words have the power to create financial gain or loss. Your life and my life. Your life and my life. Our words have the power to create financial gain or loss. Financial gain or loss. Financial gain or loss. Our life has that propensity, our words have that propensity to create financial gain or loss. Our words has the ability to bring increase or decrease. Our words has the ability to bring increase or decrease. We use words for negotiation. And so I'm sharing with you the importance that negotiation carries. Our words can either create doors or walls. Our words can either create doors or walls. Our words can either be bridges or barricades. Our words can either be bridges or it can become a barricade. That is how important negotiation is. And what is negotiation? The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines negotiation as the action or process of negotiating or being negotiated, or often used in plural. That is what the Merriam-Webster dictionary talks about. The negotiation is to confer with another so as to arrive at a settlement or some matter. Negotiating is to confer with another so as to arrive at a settlement or some. All of us at one point or the other want to arrive at a certain settlement or something. Proverbs 13:2 says that a man shall eat well by the fruit of his mouth. A man shall eat well by the fruit of his mouth. By the soul of the unfaithful feeds on violence. The importance of negotiating our words. And negotiating is to confer with another so as to arrive at the settlement of some matter. It's important. So you have to get this. Proverbs 13:2 says on negotiation. Proverbs 13:2 also says, a man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth, by the soul of his transgression shall eat violence, which I just quoted to you. Proverbs 12:13 also says, the wicked is snared. The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble. The just shall come out of trouble. So know that negotiation is important. So maintain the power of effective negotiation. John F. Kennedy says on negotiation, said, let us never negotiate out of fear. Let us never negotiate out of fear, but never to fear to negotiate. Can I take it again? John F. Kennedy says, let us never negotiate out of fear, but never fear to negotiate. Negotiation requires the right attitude. Anytime you are negotiating, it requires the right attitude, because everybody involved wants to benefit from it. The seller wants to create a favor and a happy customer service. And the buyer involved wants to save some money. That is how it is like. So let your information be able to accommodate the need of a seller in order to obtain favor. Negotiation must be viewed as a win-win situation for everybody involved. Negotiation must be viewed as a win-win situation for everybody involved. Another point you should take note of maintaining the power of effective negotiation is negotiation requires an understanding of the cost involved for others. Invest time researching on prices. This helps to know exactly how far to negotiate. When you understand how to negotiate or the price tag to negotiation, when you negotiate better. Negotiation requires timing. Timing is critical in negotiation. Timing is very, very critical in negotiation. So you need to be able to gather your facts well before you enter into the negotiation, because timing is critical. Do not rush anything. You will almost not do well in something you do not have sufficient information about. You don't go onto the negotiation room or to the negotiation table when you don't have the facts, you don't have the information. You don't even know, you have not profiled the person you are going to meet to negotiate. You don't know anything about the person. So effective negotiators, international negotiators, business negotiators, whatever they do, before they go into negotiate, they first do background checks of the person they are going to engage. They do checks on the things they have been sent to go and negotiate on, so that they can be able to clock or to sign the best of deals. The best of deals is very, very important. In maintaining the power of your first negotiation also, you need to be able to avoid, you have to know that, avoid every salesman that insists that today is the last day of this sale. Have you heard it before? If you don't buy it before you come back, you will not meet it again. Oh, avoid them. That means don't be impulsive to follow such words. Avoid it. Do not fall for it. When you return next month, they will still deal. Once the thing is there, they will still deal. That house they were selling to you and tell, look, if you don't buy, you will never get this price anywhere. And so you are angry and you are rushing to go. You are not a good negotiator. Walk away at a certain point. Come back again the next time. You will get a better deal. You should not be afraid to negotiate. Say John F. Kennedy. Take note of that. Don't be afraid to negotiate. And don't be afraid to walk away from the negotiating table and come back again. And come back again. When you return next month, they will still deal because they need your purchase more than their product. Everyone selling, he needs your purchase more than the product. So don't ever think that when you don't get it, you are going to die. You will never die. A negotiator is not a desperate person. You cannot be desperate to be a good negotiator. Cultivate. You have some people who said anything at all. You can't say anything at all in life. Have a price. Cultivate the habit of a listener. If you want to be a good negotiator, you should be a good listener. A good listener. These are things that people have to pay to listen. I'm giving it to you for free. To take advantage of it and don't waste it. It's called wisdom. Cultivate the habit of a listener. Cultivate the habit of a listener because they are rare. They are rare. It helps you to develop an understanding of the fears and passion of the heart of those at the negotiation table. At the negotiation table or in the midst of negotiation, be able to read the moods of people. Be able to read the moods of people. Swing them left, right, center, and be psyching them and be checking on them. And you see the spots. Listen thoroughly, compassionately, and expectantly. As you sit there and you are listening, listen without fidgeting with your phone. Listen with your concentration and attention, and you will get all the vibes, and you get everything that comes in, so that you can take a better decision. People go to the negotiation table and return with bad decisions because they were not good listeners. They were not listening when the negotiation was going on. But you need to listen. You have to develop your skill of listening. At another point, when it's a seminar, we'll look at that. Because there are ways of listening and to be able to maximize it for effective negotiation. I'm just leading you on some of those, but in a more seminar structure, we'll be able to get deeper into some of those things. So cultivate that habit. Finally, successful negotiation should be focused on details. That matters the most. In negotiation, don't talk about unnecessary. That's not the time you are talking about Nancy stories and everything. Make sure you always bring the person to the very thing you are talking about. It has to be direct. Successful negotiation should be focused on details. That matters the most. Even though your opinion matters as an employee or a business person, that is, if you are representing your company or you are a business person, make certain that it is hard at the right time, in the right environment and with the right attitude. You have to have the right attitude and be in the right environment. Environment for negotiation counts a lot. Environment for negotiation counts a lot. You cannot take a negotiation of trying to broker a deal for maybe about 1 million USD for an investment or whatever it is, and have that deal in a drinking spot. So environment counts. You need to be able to have a very cozy, relaxed environment. That is why in some banks they have prestige banking. You enter into that place, the way they will usher you and receive you and go and put you. Your tea is there, your coffee is there. The way they will manage you, by the time you know, your investment has gone. Even when you go there thinking about withdrawing that money, you will change your mind. It was said of a man who got angry of a bank, entered in there, wanted to close all his accounts. And the relationship manager meets that man. sat with the man. In the next 5 minutes, the man changed his mind. He rather invested more. He didn't close the account. Why? Because that relationship manager was a good negotiator. Unfortunately, nowadays, we don't have very good negotiators in our banks, in our industries, in whatever we are. Some of them are doing good, but majority we are having a challenge because they think where you will come. So we have played down on customer service. But effective negotiation is critical. It's critical. You need the right attitude and the right environment. And the right environment. If you ask international negotiators, they will tell you. Sometimes before you go, as you enter in there, the kind of car that will pick you at the airport, the kind of hotel they will check you in, the kind of woman that will greet you at the tarmac, the kind of reception you are going to receive as you sit down to negotiate, all these things will play in you. That is why people can go and sign contracts and sign deals and come back and the deals will be hunting them because the other people understands how to negotiate an environment of negotiation. Take note of it. When the devil enters into the Garden of Eden, it was a negotiation between the devil and Eve. The target was Adam, but the devil understood the environment and the timing. So he entered in at the right time, under the right mood of the woman, and was able to engage the woman. By the time he finishes with the negotiation, he has broken the deal of sin, and men fall prey to it. So negotiation started even in Genesis, and has continued through to the time. Jesus, to come and die for us, negotiated with his Father that I am coming in the volume of the books to fulfill your will. But what will be the reward? At the end of the day, he said God gave him a name, Philippians chapter 2, that is above every name. That at the mention of the name Jesus, every knee shall bow. Why? Because he negotiated for it. So in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he was crying, he said, not as I will, but let your will be done, because we have signed a pact already. And when it was this sign, Revelation chapter 13 said that the lamb that was slain before the foundations of the earth. Negotiation governs every principle and law of life. So master it and take advantage so that you can succeed in life. Above all, make time to meditate on the word of God in order to make proper and effective decisions and negotiations. And I will add that you also need to read broadly and variedly and understand the missions and the vision and the philosophy of your organization and your business and the people within, the players within your industry and the people you engage so that you will be able to have effective negotiation skill or to negotiate with them. You cannot take simplicity to the negotiation table. You have to be firm, you have to be hard, you have to be decisive, you have to be attentive. The Holy Spirit knows the right time and will create the right environment for you to receive if you submit to his leading. Note, every negotiation will end in one of four possible outcomes. If you read the book I suggested to you, the 101 Ways to Negotiate Effectively, you'll find some of these things there. Note, every negotiation will end in one of four possible outcomes. Either it's a lose-lose, a win-lose, a win-win, or no outcome at all. 4 ways. Either it's a lose-lose, a win-lose, a win-win, or no outcome at all. So take note of this negotiation. Take note of this negotiation. I will leave you here, and I'll come your way next week. But I think let me share with you two points for you. Forgive me. Let me share these 2 points with you so that at least that can guide you. Key number 19, establish a positive reputation. It's very important before I leave you. Establish a positive reputation. A good reputation is a very important master secret for greatness. A good reputation is a very important master secret for greatness. The biblical account of Ruth included the reputation she built. Ruth had a good reputation. Ruth chapter 2, verse 11 and 12. Ruth chapter 2, verse 11 said, and Boaz answered and said to her, this is Boaz's testimony about Ruth. It has been fully reported to me, all that you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, and how you have left your father and your mother and the land of your birth, and have come to a people whom you did not know before. 12. He says, the Lord repay your work, and a full reward be given you by the Lord God of Israel, under whose wings you have come for refuge. Why would Boaz say that? Boaz, because of the positive lifestyle of Ruth, Boaz spoke well about her reputation. You have to know that your reputation can open doors for you. Your reputation can promote you. Your reputation will give you favor. Your reputation will give you money. Your reputation will provide a thing you don't have. Your reputation is very, very important. You have to be able to hone and to work on your reputation and to guide it. You don't joke with it. Your reputation is very, very important. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. Reputation, according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, defines it as overall quality or character as seen or judged by people in general. I take it again. Overall quality or character as seen or judged by people in general. Jesus put it this way in Matthew 16, verse 13 to 17. Matthew 16, verse 13 to 17. When he got to the regions of Caesarea Philippi, when he got to the place of Caesarea Philippi, I asked them, he said, what do men say that, 16, Matthew 16, 13. What do men say that I am? He said, when Jesus came into the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples saying, who do men say that I, the Son of Man, I am? It is called personal test of character. Personal test of character. Every one of us, as we are growing into leadership, as we are growing into harnessing our gift, our potential, and becoming what God wants for us, we have to know that our reputation is critical. And once a while, we need to have the litmus test of character. The litmus test of character. The litmus test of character. And Jesus did it. He said, what do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? Look at the answers. 14. He says, so they said, some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, and other Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. The challenge about leadership is that whenever leadership comes up with the litmus test of character, the people around leadership are sycophants who don't tell leaders their true nature. Their true nature. And so sometimes it becomes a challenge. A husband can ask a wife, how do you see me? The wife is afraid to tell the husband the true thing about the man, because she thinks when I do it, I lose my marriage. When I do it, I don't get a chop money. When I do it, there will be some problem here. The man, the wife will say, so how do you think? The man knows he's not in agreement. He say, yeah, it's nice. We have all become pretentious people around things. In national building, in business, in economic development, as pastors, as preaching and everything, we don't have objective minds. But it is critical in greatness, in building, in leadership, in everything we do. We need to have the litmus test of character, where we will get the right feedback. Because feedbacks are important for progress and development of life and for the honing of greatness and arriving at our destination. It says, some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. But the question is that, was Jesus John the Baptist? Was Jesus Jeremiah? Was Jesus one of the prophets? No. This answer is coming because it is an observation that people have made. And people will always make observations of you to be able to come out with varied opinions about who you are. So it is critical to be able to have the litmus test of people's thoughts about you. And look at the verse number 15. He said to them, but who do you say that I am? In other words, this is the external report. But what is the internal report? For every litmus test of character for leadership, there is an external report and there is an internal report. The external report helps you to be able to reevaluate and reassess and to replan. The internal report comes to be able to work on your personality and your character, because leadership first starts with you leading yourself before you lead others. So Jesus said, now let's bring it home. But who do you say that I am? Because you are around me and I need your objective view. All of them couldn't say anything, but listen to the verse 16, what Peter said. He said, Simon Peter answered and said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And look at what Jesus said, 17. Jesus answered and said to him, blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. What does this imply? It implies that for every litmus test of character, of reputation, of leadership, there is always an inherent truth. That inherent truth is only known by you or by your God. So people can give assessment of you that might not be who you are, That might be who you are, or that might be close to who you are, Elijah, Jeremiah, whatever. But the true assessment of yourself is yourself. So the general assessment leads you to the internal assessment. And when you get the internal assessment, you now subject it to the understanding of your assignment and your calling. And Jesus said, hey, you have gotten it right. You have gotten it right. Everybody that wants to get somewhere, surround yourself with people who will be objective and not sycophants. A reputation is a very important master secret for greatness. And like I said, the book account of Ruth included a reputation she built. People say either good or bad things, false accusation or current assessment. Ruth was well spoken of because of her sacrificial and dedicated attitude to her mother-in-law. Your productivity affects your reputation. Your productivity affects your reputation. This was what registered in the heart of Boaz about Ruth. Give room for others to commend you instead of doing it yourself. Proverbs 27 verse 2. Proverbs 27 verse number 2. He says, let another man praise you and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. Jesus threw it to them and they came out and he said, you have said it right, Peter. That is it. You don't lift yourself, but let others say what they think about you. 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 17 to 18 says this. You know about Joseph's life. He said, so Saul said to his servant, David's life, about David, when he was anointed and saw the challenge. He said, so Saul said to his servant, provide me now a man who can play well and bring him to me. Look at verse 18. Remember I said, your productivity affects your reputation. What you do, people are observing. So the one of the servants answered and said, look, I have seen the son of Jesse the Bethlehemite. People are watching you. The day somebody wants a recommendation for marriage, will they be able to recommend you? If somebody is recommending or looking for a job, will you be the one they will recommend? Because every day, whether we like it or not, our resume will be somewhere, will be discussed at a place. But what will be the recommendation that people will give? So remember, our reputation, positive reputation is important. So look, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, who is skillful in playing. Good recommendation. A mighty man of valor, good. A man of war, good. Prudent in speech, good. And a handsome person, good. And the Lord is with him. Good reputation. Remember, that's what opened the door for David. There were many competitors, but David excelled all of them because of this good reputation. Joseph had the same thing, and that opened the door for him to interpret the dream of the king. And was lifted and exalted. You want to be lifted. You want to do great things. You want to excel, but you don't have reputation. They commit things into your hands, you mess it. They commit things into your hands and you destroy it. You are busybody, you are not having any focus. You don't care about what people think about you and what you do and what you say. It is important. If you have greatness, you have to watch your reputation. If you have greatness, watch your reputation. And remember, I stated that every one of us have greatness in our life because God created us to solve a problem. So we need to work on our reputation. 19, establish a positive reputation. Like I said, establish, key number 19, we are establishing a positive reputation. Reputation is more powerful than money. Reputation is more powerful than money. It is more powerful than fragrance. You can mention all the fragrance in the world. Reputation is more powerful than that. If you put on the nice fragrance of the whole world, and you don't have a reputation, it's nothing. He said a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver and gold. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver and gold. When you read Proverbs 31, it tells you that the woman, the merchandise woman, he said that beauty is vain, charm is deceptive, but a virtuous woman who can find. When your life is virtuous, when you look, it is more than money. My brother, it is more than money. Charm is deceitful, beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. What is the testimony of people about you? Reputation is more than money. It is more powerful than fragrance. People listen for deception as lies are common these days, and it destroys integrity. Some people only listen to lies, but they don't listen to the truth about people. When I was growing up, on television, on radio, we hear in society, people are doing well. I was sharing with somebody. I said, now when people are doing good, good things are no more written about in our papers, on social media and everything. No wonder society is now having a challenge of character and attitude, because we are not seeing examples of good people. Ecclesiastes 7:1 said a good name is better than precious ointment, and a day of death than the day of one's birth. We are not seeing good examples. We are not seeing the good examples. So watch it. Check it. Most of our children, most of the people that are being arrested, sometimes armed robbery, drug dealing, whatever, you check from them age from about 14 years, from 13 years to 21, 25 years. Wasted life, go to prisons, they are there. Because we are not seeing good examples on our television. We talk of celebrity status. Celebrity status now is alluded to nudity, is alluded to vulgarism. You go on our social media, you don't get positive things to read. Sometimes things you read, the positive things that are there, people are not even fishing for it. But things that don't edify is what people are following. Our movies and all of these things contribute to our development process. But the truth is, we are not getting good examples to be able to make us good citizens or good people. So focus on your words and carefully examine them. Never say anything insincere. Honesty is a virtue. I'll tell people, you eating food, you take a picture, you place it on social media, you remove your dress, you put it on social media. Do you know what you are doing? You are building your profile reputation. One day it will come to haunt you. Everything you are saying, everything you are doing is a progressive bridge or a portrait you are painting for your future. Please check it. Focus on your words. What you distribute on Instagram, what you put on Twitter, what you put on Facebook, what you put on your status and everything should be edifying. It defines your profile. It defines who you are. You are building your reputation. Companies will employ you based on that reputation. You go for the interview and they did not pick you. You don't understand why. It's because they've assessed your reputation. It is on social media. You think in life you can be insulting everybody on radio, insult everybody on social media. Continue. You are building your reputation. It is a thing you are building. It will haunt you tomorrow. So please check it. Focus on your words and carefully examine them. Never say anything insincere. Honest is a virtue. Honesty is a virtue. Don't struggle or try to prove your integrity. God has a way of letting your integrity be known. False accusations are also very common these days. These are held out of jealousy. People get jealous of you and they say bad things about you. People who doesn't even know you. I have met someone who confessed to me, he said, I didn't know you. But when I met you, I'm surprised. Please forgive me because I got angry about things I don't know nothing of and all of that. But right now when I met you and heard you, I realize it's a different thing. People can hate you without even knowing you, just because they heard your name or saw your face. People can accuse you wrongly because of jealousy. That is why it's not everything you read or you see you should believe. Verify yourself. So they held out of jealousy to deliberately destroy your integrity. But remember, God is faithful and will reveal your true personality. Your integrity is unforgettable. It can never be forgotten. Your integrity can never be forgotten. Even your enemies can allude to that fact. Make effort to establish a positive one at all times. Thank you. I'll leave you here and I'll come your way next week, like I said. It's been exciting. I'm enjoying it. And I wish I could go on and on and on and on with you. But I know we have to part ways some way, somehow. But I know you have been blessed. Let us have your feedback. Let us know how you're enjoying this masterclass. Let us know what we could do to improve in other areas. Let us learn together and let's build it. Let us create avenues and space for more deeper seminars and engagement so that we can be able to enrich ourselves more. Keep praying for us. Keep supporting this medium. Keep supporting this program that we may stay on. But above all that I tell people is that never look for opportunity, but prepare for opportunity. Thank you for listening to us.